Welcome to Your Healthy Kitchen from YRMC.
Welcome to Your Healthy Kitchen. I'm your host, Rita Carey Rubin. You know, I've never met a vegetable I didn't like, truly. And I especially like vegetables that are simply prepared, allowing their own special flavors to shine through. That being said, it's fun to dress up sometimes. And just a simple sauce, a pesto, or spice blend tossed with simply prepared vegetables can really make those veggies stand out and shine. Sauces and spice blends also provide one more opportunity to nutritionally power up your plate, especially when they contain herbs and spices that are packed with vitamins, minerals, and all of those health-protecting phytochemicals. So we've made a few great sauces for vegetables already here in Your Healthy Kitchen. There's that great orange cumin and cilantro vinaigrette in the Cooking with Cilantro video, and the minted chimichurri sauce in the video called Batch Cooking Number 3. So be sure to give those a try if you haven't already. They're all so good, you just might be tempted to eat them by the spoonful. So I'd like to share a few more of my favorite dress-up sauces with you today, plus a wonderful spice blend that can be used to turn bowls or plates of simply grilled, roasted, or even steamed vegetables into the best part of your meal. So we'll start with a simple cilantro pesto. So most of you are probably familiar with basil pesto. So basil blended with olive oil and garlic and walnuts and cheese. But really you can use a lot of different ingredients to make different flavored pestos. So for our cilantro pesto, we'll start with a little bit of olive oil and some walnuts. And then we'll add a chopped up green onion. And you don't need to chop this up real finely, just roughly chopped. And green onions are actually some of the most nutritious foods you can buy in the market or grow in your garden. Contain lots and lots of those great phytochemicals. So add our onion. And I've got a small bunch of cilantro here, about a cup, loosely packed. And I'll just cut off some of the stem. We just don't want a lot of the big stems in our pesto because it can make the pesto kind of stringy. So I've got about a loosely cupped pack of cilantro. Actually, I'm going to chop it up a little bit first. So some cilantro. We'll do the same with some parsley. So about the same amount, about a cup loosely packed with most of the stems removed. And we'll just chop that up a little bit. And then we'll add a clove of garlic. And this you can just roughly chop as well, because remember, it'll all be blended up in the food processor. Add that. And then there's a kind of a special secret ingredient to this pesto, and it's a little bit of lime juice. The lime juice really makes the flavor of the pesto just really bright. Makes it really stand out and shine. And you can add more or less lime juice, just depending on your taste. And we'll just add a little pinch of salt. And we'll blend it up. And I'll just scrape that down a little bit. So when you make this pesto in a food processor, the texture is there is a little texture to it, a little chunky. But if you'd like a pesto that's a little more pureed or smooth, you might try making it in a blender. So look at that, isn't that beautiful? So green. So this pesto tastes great with really any kind of vegetable. So vegetables that are steamed or roasted or grilled go really well with this. It's great on a little bit of grilled chicken or fish. And to pair up with our pesto today, I've roasted some winter squash. This is butternut squash. And we'll toss just a little bit of our pesto in with our squash. And the bright flavor of the pesto really pairs well with the kind of the earthy sweetness of that butternut squash. And it is just so beautiful to look at. So there's that. So our next sauce is actually based on some yogurt. So we've got some plain yogurt. And to the yogurt, we will add another kind of special secret ingredient called tahini. Tahini is a blended toasted sesame seed. So it's a little bit like peanut butter, but it's a little bit lighter texture and a different flavor. And tahini adds some really nice body and a rich flavor to this sauce. And you might be familiar with tahini if you've ever made hummus. So hummus is garbanzo beans and garlic and lemon juice and tahini. So we'll blend up our tahini and yogurt. It's nice to get that mixed in first before you add the other ingredients, because sometimes the tahini and yogurt can get a little lumpy. So there's that. And to that, we'll add a little bit of cumin seed or ground cumin, either one. And just a little bit goes a long way with the cumin. So start with a little, and if you'd like to add more, you always can. Remember, when you're adding spices to things, you can always add more for more flavor, but it's hard to take it out once it's in there. We'll also add some chopped chives. And some garlic. And for the garlic, what I like to do is actually turn it into a little bit of a paste, so that you don't get these big chunks of raw garlic in your sauce. So to do a garlic paste, we chop the garlic up into pretty small pieces, and then add a little bit of salt to your pile of garlic. So the salt will help bring out the flavor of the garlic, but also help break it up and turn it into that nice paste. So I'm just going to chop up the garlic until it's pretty small. And then you take your knife, the side of your knife, and pull it through that pile of garlic. You want to chop a little bit in between, but just sort of pull it through. Until those pieces get smaller and smaller. Just be careful of your finger on your knife there. And so it just gets to be like a little paste. And that salt is really nice mixed in with the garlic. Again, brings out the flavor. So we'll add this to our sauce. And that, because the garlic is chopped so finely and into a paste, the garlic flavor really infuses into that yogurt sauce really well. And the last thing we'll add is just a little lemon juice. So this is a great sauce to pair with any kind of grilled vegetable. So it goes really well with things that have kind of a smoky flavor. It also is really good with grilled chicken. And one of my favorite ways to serve this sauce is in a sandwich. So I love grilling vegetables and stuffing them into a nice whole wheat pita and put a little bit of this sauce on the side. So I've got some beautiful grilled zucchini and eggplant right here, and that will go with our yogurt and cumin and tahini sauce. So our last recipe actually isn't a sauce, but it's a spice blend, and it's called Za'atar. Za'atar is a really common spice blend used throughout the Middle East, and it's composed of really just 3 simple ingredients. It has some dried thyme, some some sumac, which is the ground red berry of a variety of sumac that grows throughout the Middle East, and also some toasted sesame seeds. And that's all there is to it. You can actually buy pre-made za'atar in specialty spice shops or online. And it's really wonderful, already made, but it's even better when you make it yourself. And the sumac is another one of those special ingredients. It's hard to find in local grocery stores. You actually might need to look at a specialty spice shop for it or buy it online. And one of my favorite places to buy sumac is online at a site called penzies.com. They have an amazing variety of fresh herbs or dried herbs and spices that are really high quality. So to make our za'atar, so first we're going to toast our sesame seeds. And if you remember from past videos, to toast seeds or nuts, we just start with a dry skillet. This is on medium-high heat. And we'll put our sesame seeds in there. And just let them sit there for a little while. Keep an eye on them because they do burn pretty quickly. And once you start smelling the aroma of the sesame, you'll know that they're ready. And they'll also start to turn a little darker. So we'll let those sit there and toast. And to make our spice blend, we'll take spice grinder, coffee grinder, and add a couple tablespoons of dried thyme. This is actually thyme that I picked out of my garden and dried at home, but you could use thyme that you purchase in the grocery store. And a couple of tablespoons of that sumac. And sumac has a flavor that is unlike anything I've ever tasted. It has this really bright lemony flavor with just a little bit of a hint of salt. And if you start using sumac in cooking, you'll start putting it on everything. It's great on any vegetable. It's great sprinkled on eggs or chicken or sprinkled on top of sauces. It's really lovely. So we're going to grind this up so that the thyme and the sumac is powdered. So just a second. All right. And I think our sesame seeds are done as well. I can smell them. It's a great aroma. So I will take our powdered thyme and sumac and mix it up with our sesame seeds. And za'atar is a wonderful addition, again, to roasted, grilled, steamed vegetables. One of my favorite ways to eat za'atar is tossed with some steamed potatoes. It's wonderful. And it's also wonderful with carrots. So I've got some roasted carrots in the oven. These are some beautiful baby carrots that I got at the farmer's market from Rabbit Run Farm out in Skull Valley. And I've just roasted them, tossed with a little olive oil and a little bit of salt. And we'll take some of our za'atar and sprinkle it on. And toss it around a little bit, and then we'll just add a little lemon juice to it. To brighten up the flavor. So just beautiful. So remember, adding sauces and spices and herbs is just one more way to not only make your meals delicious, but to also make them more nutritious, because all of those spices and seasonings are just loaded with those healthy phytochemicals that are anti-inflammatory, antibacterial. And remember, all of the recipes for these sauces and seasonings, along with the recipes from past videos, are available at yrmc.org. Simply click on Health Connect and follow the link to your healthy kitchen. And thanks for joining me today in your saucy and healthy kitchen. And we'll see you soon.